Welcome. Good morning. Thanks everybody for attending. I'm Mike Koval, your host today, and what we'll be covering is how to keep it simple with full color apparel printing. You as decorators are presented with many different options and ways to decorate apparel. And one of the biggest demands for our customers today is full color. So that's what we're going to cover today, is the many different ways from screen printed transfers, digital transfers, sublimation transfers, DTG, and inkjet and laser printing. We'll cover, we'll touch on, all those options and which option is going to be the best for you, and why you should use that particular option. So to get started real quick today, I'm going to launch a few poll questions to help me get to know my audience a little bit. And, so we'll go ahead and launch the first one here, which is, do you own a heat press? Okay, so we have most of you folks, 94% of you out there that do have a heat press, and with just 6% of you who do not. So we'll launch the next one. Go ahead, Karen, please. Are you currently offering full color printing capabilities in-house? Okay, we have about a 50-50 mix on those offering full color and those not. And our final one, Karen, is what type of equipment do you have in your shop currently? Okay. All right, well, thanks everyone for answering those questions. I see most of you out there have a vinyl cutter, some of you with some print and cut capabilities, and a few with sublimation and DTG. So, those are obviously some of the most common ways that folks decorate full color with. So you folks out there with vinyl cutter, decorating full color is a huge challenge for you. It's not that it can't be done, and it's not that it's overly hard for you. It's just very time consuming because, as you know, with vinyl cutting, and for those of you who don't, if you do get a vinyl cutter, full color is possible, but for every color that you have in a design, it's a cut of that color, particular vinyl, as well as a heat press for each color. So if you have a 3-color design with vinyl, you have to cut all 3 colors separately and then press all 3 colors. So that could be very time consuming. Now, if you just have 1 or 2 shirts and things like that, it's not a bad option. And you folks out there with print and cut, you have one of the most perfect pieces of equipment to begin offering, full color heat transfers if you do not. You simply buy the rolled goods, print on those rolled goods, and with a digital transfer with the print and cut machine, you have no limitations to colors, no limitation to the color of fabric that you apply, and really no limitation to the type of fabric, whether it be cottons, polyester, nylon, spandex, you name it. There's nearly nothing you can't heat press with the digital transfer. And those of you who are not familiar with DTG, DTG's, most of you are probably familiar with it. It's an excellent way to offer low quantity 100% cotton t-shirts. That's where that machine lives, and it's going to be the most direct comparison that anyone will ever see to a screen print, because it's soft hand, it's breathable, but it's limiting because you can only do basically cottons 50-50 at best, and there are some machines out there and certain ink and pre-treat options that you have to decorate light color 100% polyester, but it's difficult. And with sublimation printing, some of you folks out there have that. It's another popular way to decorate apparel, but it too, much like the DTG, is very limited to the fabrics that you could print on. With sublimation, you could only print 100% polyester, or, you can do 60-40, but the more cotton you introduce into with sublimation, the lower quality the print's going to be, because with sublimation ink, it only bonds to the polyester fabric, so that's why 100% is the best. And you can only do whites and very light colors. There's no options for you to decorate a black t-shirt, a black or blue, red, anything with high density of color with sublimation, because it just does not work. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, is cover the many different options that you have and when you should choose each of those particular methods. So I forgot to mention as well, there's a chat feature. If anybody has any questions throughout the way, please feel free to chat them out. I'll be pausing momentarily throughout this presentation to answer those questions. So with that being said, let's take a look at one of the most popular ways that folks decorate full color that don't have any equipment, whether it be a vinyl cutter, print cut system, DTG. That's utilizing a screen printed transfer. A screen printed transfer is screen printing. Your customer will not know the difference whether you have a 4/6 automatic color automatic machine in your back room. It's actually doing screen printing direct to fabric. What screen printed transfers allow you to do is offer screen printing without all the investment in the equipment or the mess, the chemicals and things like that go into screen printing, because what you're getting is basically plastisol ink that's been printed on a special release paper, with a baked in adhesive, so that then you could just in turn heat press that. And a great place to get transfers, screen printed transfers, is through Transfer Express. So that's some of the first things we're going to be pressing today, is some screen printed transfers from Transfer Express. And when is it best to use a screen printed transfer? It's much like that, as a screen printer, they don't like to do smaller quantity jobs. You'll find some that'll do maybe a minimum of 12, maybe a minimum of 24 to 36. And that's because, when you screen print, every color that you have in your design, you have to burn a particular screen for that. So they like to focus on higher volume jobs because, it keeps their costs down from the amount of screens that they have to burn. So this is the same kind of concepts apply, when using a screen printed transfer. You want to do mid to high quantities, in, maybe anywhere from 2 to about 4 colors is where you're going to be the most cost effective when it comes to utilizing a screen printed transfer. And screen printed transfers too, it's great for cotton, 50/50s, polyesters, things like that, and even some nylon and stretchable fabrics, so there's a lot of options for you there. But where this lives, screen printed transfer, when you should use it is mid to higher quantity jobs of the same type of design as well, that's screen printed is great for that because, using the same design over and over and over, it's very easy for a screen printer to do. So we're going to take a look at some options that Transfer Express has. Our first one, it's a hot split transfer. And a hot split transfer, it's great because it offers a very soft hand to the garment and very quick and easy to apply. And one of the nice things about Transfer Express and using them to create your screen printed transfers is they have an online designer, which, that's one thing I forgot to mention too. With full color, a big challenge for decorators is the actual artwork. Some folks aren't that familiar with Corel or Illustrator and utilizing those to create full color graphics. So Transfer Express has made it really, really easy for folks with their EasyView Designer. And what the EasyView Designer is it's basically an online design software with preloaded templates of, thousands and thousands of different templates and clip art that you could choose, and basically customize to suit your needs. So you can mix and match a piece of clip art in there to basically make your own art yourself. Change colors as needed, so that makes it super easy for those of you who are unfamiliar with graphics. So let's go back to the hot split. We'll do some applications here. This is recommended for 100% cotton, 50/50, and you want to keep this in a lighter color range, because it doesn't have an extremely high opacity. So if you try to put a hot split transfer on black, it might show through a little bit and change the color. So this is recommended for a little lighter fabrics. And when we get into the darks, our next transfer will be the Goof Proof, which we'll see next. So I'm going to step over the press and apply this. And I'm using the Hotronix Auto Clam here. Just going to thread our garment to put this on. So we'll place our transfer. Now these are printed in the reverse, so you flip it over, place it on your garment, and the hot split transfers apply at 360 degrees for about 4 to 6 seconds with a medium pressure. So we'll go ahead and lock that down. Okay. And these are hot peel, so basically once I'm done, I'm just going to remove my backing, and there we have, our first designed hot split transfer. So basically what we just did is we screen printed a shirt for our customer in full color. Quick, simple, and easy. So anyone with a heat press who's not utilizing screen printed transfers, needs to definitely check out Transfer Express for these. So, and as I was talking before, let's take another one of the most popular is the Goof Proof. As a decorator, you're not going to notice much difference between the two, but like I said, the hot split, it's recommended for more lighter colors and things like that because the opacity is not as great. But when you get into doing blacks and navies and darker colors, the Goof Proof is the way to go. Very, very simple to apply, much like the hot split. Great for 100% cotton and 50/50 blends. and it applies at the same exact time and temperature. Again, these are also printed in reverse, so we'll just flip it over, place it on. No need for a cover sheet or anything with these, and lock that down. Again, 4 to 6 seconds with the Goof Proof, and it is a hot peel. And here we have, again, the finished look. So now we're basically a screen printer without any mess. Now, those of you who do direct screen printing, this is, still utilizing Transfer Express can still be a great option for you. Because let's say, you're at capacity with your screens. You're full, you have no more room to accept any jobs because your screen printer is running nonstop. Utilize Transfer Express for a couple more jobs where all you're going to have to do is utilize the heat press that you have, and your customer's not going to know the difference whether you ran it on your automatic press in the back or whether you just used your heat press and allowed us to do all the work for you. So it's, again, very cost-effective way whether you're doing screen printing or whether you're not. But for those of you who aren't doing screen printing but want to get into it, this is absolutely the best way to do it. No mess, no investment costs other than a heat press, and now you're screen printing and decorating full color. So I'm going to take a quick moment to see if there's any questions. No questions? Okay. Okay, and one of the new innovations with Transfer Express and screen printed transfers that Transfer Express has, it's the stretch litho transfer. Basically what a stretch litho transfer is, it's a digital transfer combined with screen printed transfers. So you're getting the best of both worlds. With digital printing, which we'll get into next, you're getting basically an unlimited color palette for you to choose from, whether it's 3 colors to 100 colors. Stretch litho is a great way to do that because you have no limitations there. As I had mentioned earlier with screen printing, folks kind of primarily stick anywhere from even 1 color, to maybe 4 to 6 colors, depending on the type of screen printing machine that you have. There are some, higher volume shops out there that do nothing but screen printing who have the capabilities to print 12 colors. But what the stretch litho does, limitless to colors, no matter what it is. You could even do gradients, fades, photo quality type images, which are oftentimes challenges for screen printers. So this again is the stretch litho transfer from Transfer Express. Also can be utilized with the Easy View to Designer for you. So we'll go ahead and apply this one, and this is great for obviously 100% cotton 50/50s. Those types of fabrics and garments are the easiest to decorate, and really you have no challenges there. But where this also comes into play with some of the advancements in today's apparel, with the dry fits, the 100% polyester, a lot of those fabrics are extremely heat sensitive, so we saw with the hot split and the Goof Proof, you have to apply those at 360 degrees. And with these days, the Nike dry fits, the Under Armours, a lot of times that high heat, it's gonna scorch that garment and leave that dreaded heat press box that we're all familiar with if we've tried to decorate those. So one of the nice things about stretch litho is it applies at 275 degrees, which is ideal for those types of garments, the Nikes, the dry fits. So you're going to drastically reduce any possibility of any heat press box or scorching that garment. And one of the other nice things about this is it has a stretch and rebound to it as well. So it's perfect for that. So we're going to step over to the Fusion here and apply this one. And we're doing this to 100% polyester here. And again, the stretch litho applies at 275 degrees and for 10 to 12 seconds. So go ahead and place that on there. And again, just like any screen printed transfer that you're going to get, it's always printed in reverse on your release carrier. I'm just going to place it on your garment. No need for a cover sheet here either. So go ahead and pop that in. 275 again for about 10 to 12 seconds. Now the stretch litho is a cold peel, so we'll have to let this cool before we actually remove the carrier. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take this off and set this aside for a minute and see if we have any questions, Karen. Okay. All right, so we'll peel that here shortly, but that in general covers screen printed transfers. quick and easy way to get started doing full color, without much investment cost there. And you're getting a tried and true method out to your customer, who most of your customers, when you're talking to them, they've heard of screen printing. They know the quality of screen printing, that it lasts, and it's one of the most trusted decoration methods out there. So your customers are going to know they're going to get a quality product because they're getting something that's screen printed. And now those of you with a vinyl cutter, it's a great way to now start offering full color designs. All right, so let's see. Yeah, this is about cool enough. So we'll go ahead and peel this carrier. Put that over here. And here's our stretch litho transfer. Full color, and you can see with this many different colors out there. And that's why this is great, because there's no limitation to the color. And this is a stretchable garment, so this stretch litho will stretch with the fabric and rebound with it without distorting that image. And you'll notice too, this is a very lightweight garment. There's no heat press box there because of that low temperature application. Okay. So the next method, we'll get into, which is an extremely popular method these days, is a digital transfer. So what's a digital transfer versus a screen printed transfer? As far as the end result, it's pretty much the same. You're going to be able to decorate with nearly as many colors as you want, and there's no limitations as far as the fabric content that goes. But the great thing about digital transfers is it's kind of geared towards smaller to mid-level quantities, because the amount of colors that are there, and sometimes the time it takes to produce. But the biggest advantage of it is, much like the stretch litho, unlimited color palette. So photo quality type images, gradients, fades, whatever it's going to be, you could utilize that with a digital transfer without any limitations on that thing. And another great thing, no limitations to the fabric that you could apply it to. Cottons, 50/50s, 100% polyester. You could do it, no worries. Even nylons with digital transfers. And with some of the advancements that Stahls has made, in our CAD prints offering, we've developed an adhesive, much like the stretch litho, that goes on as low as 275 degrees as well, which is going to eliminate any need, which is going to eliminate the heat press box and the scorching of those garments. So, and those of you out there with a print cut system, you could create your own digital transfers in-house as well. By buying our rolled goods, the Express Print, the SuperTech Opaque, SuperTech Sub, the Foil Tech. All of those are printable with your print and cut device. So now you could start decorating full color, any fabric, with the equipment that you currently have. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the different options that we have as far as utilizing digital transfers. And again, going back to the challenge of the artwork that a lot of folks have, you need to have a pretty good understanding, of artwork, whether it be Apparel or Illustrator, to decorate that. But we also have Great Dane graphics, so if you're not that proficient with either of those design softwares, we have Great Dane graphics, which is loaded with over thousands and thousands of different pieces of art that are already designed for you, already production ready for you when it comes to print and cut. So if you're not familiar with that, greatdanegraphics.com. I definitely researched that. They offer monthly subscriptions, yearly subscriptions with, certain levels of downloads, whether it's for stock art, embroidery art, tons of different options for you there to make, designing digital transfers easy for you. So with our CAD print service, that's what we do for you. Much like Transfer Express, they're doing all the screen printing for you. All you have to heat press. So what you do through our CAD print service is take your full color graphics that you want to do, that you've created or your customers have provided, upload it to the Stahls.com website, under our CAD print service, and we'll produce the transfer for you. And I was mentioning, this is great really for any type of fabric. So whether you're doing cotton, you're going to utilize our Express Print, which we'll heat press first. We're going to press this on a polyester bag, but Express Print's ideal for 100% cotton, 50/50s, and most polyesters. And I say most polyesters, there's a couple of reasons for that. It's not that it won't stick, it will, but as most of you have probably seen, a lot of challenges with polyester is A, the heat press box, but also B, dye migration. What dye migration is, for those of you who aren't familiar, let's say you press a white letter on a red polyester shirt. Typically, sometimes what happens, you'll get, once you've decorated it, your customers have washed and dried it, next thing you know, that white letter is pink. And that's dye migration, and that's not an uncommon, result with folks decorating polyesters, because when you basically heat up the polyester, those are dyed to achieve those colors in the polyester threads. And so when you put that back under heat, those dyes sort of reactivate, and then once they do that, they'll have a tendency to bleed through any light color things, whether it's white vinyl or light color vinyl, and distort the color of it pretty badly. So we'll get into the Sublistop, which you're going to use for polyester to prevent that sort of thing. So, but with Express Print, it's got digital CAD prints, Express Print, great for t-shirts as well as 50/50. So I need an additional platen. Do we have any other platens in here, Karen? So we'll go to another, while I get another platen, I forgot all about this. So let's just go into the Sublistop while I was talking about the polyester. So here we have one of the toughest colors to decorate as a decorator, which is red. Red, 100% polyester red. Very difficult to decorate because of the possibility of dye migration. And this is a tough one to do. So with our SuperTech Sublistop, this material has been designed to prevent that dye migration happening. And what's unique about the product is it has a black adhesive on the back of this material. So you'll see that there, it's black. And so what that's going to do is prevent any of those dyes from coming through to the face of the transfer. So we'll go ahead and load our garment on. And much like the stretch litho screen printed, we could apply this at 265 degrees to prevent the heat press box, the scorching of the garments, and the black adhesive on this machine, or this material, is going to prevent that dye migration from coming through. So we'll press this at 275 degrees. Initial tack of 5 seconds. And then we're going to remove that carrier. Cover, and we're going to heat press for an additional 5. And that's going to permanently create a bond with the fabric. Here we have 100% polyester red without any fear of dye migration coming through because of the SuperTech Sublistop. And those of you with a print cut device, you could order the SuperTech Sublistop by the roll to begin printing your own transfers for polyesters, the Under Armour, the Nikes, the Under Armours, those types of fabrics as well. And another with CAD prints, it's the Foil Tech. And that's going to allow you to do a full color heat transfer, but also give it a very metallic sheen to it, which, it's becoming popular today. Again, print cut device, we do have these available in the roll in metallic silver, metallic white, and a metallic gold. So if your customer wants full color metallic, this is a great way to utilize this with digital CAD prints. So this applies just like the Sublistop, 275 to 280, 5-second initial tack, and a 5-second after you remove the carrier. So we'll go ahead and place that on here. $275, 5 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and peel this hot. Cover. For an additional 5. Any questions out there, Karen? Okay. Okay. Here we have nice metallic digital transfer. This was printed on our silver metallic. There we have. Stretchable, great for polyester dry fit and stretchable garments. And that, then, special effects is definitely where digital transfers live as well, because of the different material options that we have as far as printing those types of things. And one of the most popular things in our CAD prints line now is our CAD prints glitter flake. So glitter flake has been one of our most popular CAD cut materials, as those of you with vinyl cutters probably have utilized at some point, but we've taken it a step further now and added it to our CAD prints line. You could do a full color glitter transfer, much like the digital transfer before, but with the unique effect of glitter, which is extremely popular today in spirit wear, cheer, dance, those sort of things that command a higher dollar value as far as the final sale goes, so more profit for you. These are applied, these are great for cottons and 50/50s and most polyesters, and I always say most polyesters because of the dye migration issues that you could have, because this doesn't have any capabilities of blocking that. So, we'll go, these are applied, just like the other ones are as well. Typically, the glitter flake goes on anywhere from 305, 320 degrees. I'm going to do a quick pre-press on this one. But I'm not going to change my heat press. I'm just going to go ahead and apply it at that. But typically, if you're doing this, 305, 320, 10 to 15 seconds. But I'm going to keep it at 275 just for the sake of the demo here today. Save some time. And this is a hot peel product, so you don't have to set and leave it cool. And there we have a full color glitter transfer, which is an extremely unique and popular way to offer a high profit margin, with your garments because of the specialty finish. The cheerleading, dance squads, spirit wear for the moms, they eat this stuff up. So what we've covered, are two of the most popular, most profitable ways to decorate full color, utilizing a screen printed transfer and then digital transfers. So there are a couple other ways, that folks, decorate full color. Those of you with sublimation printer. One of the benefits, let's get into that. So sublimation printing, it is by far, head over heels, the best feel that you're ever going to get into a garment, because with sublimation you're actually dyeing the fabric. You're not placing, like with the digital transfers, one of the drawbacks of that the customers usually have is, if you have a bigger design, it feels kind of patchy, because essentially that's what it is. You're putting a layer of material on top of another layer of material. So the bigger the design get, digital transfers, can feel uncomfortable and not so appealing to the customer. But with sublimation, there is no hand whatsoever, and it's essentially a permanent design, that's going to last pretty much definitely as long as the shirt goes, because you just dyed the fabric. But one of the disadvantages of sublimation, it's extremely limited as far as what you could apply it to. Like I said earlier, only 100% polyester and only whites and extremely light colors. That's the only things you could do sublimation with. Now, sublimation is kind of ideal if you're doing hard goods as well. Because it's an excellent way to do mugs, tiles, plaques, things like that. So where I've seen most customers benefit from sublimation is if maybe they're a trophy, awards, custom gifts, that sort of thing, doing that as well along with the apparel business. So that's where we've seen most of the sublimation and most folks doing it that way. So let's take a look at another popular method which some of you folks out there have. It's DTG. DTG is going to be the most recognizable or comparable to screen printing, because there's really not much different to it. You're printing, a digital ink directly onto the shirt, so you're almost basically screen printing. But where the DTG is ideal, 100% cotton, 50-50 at best, because much like sublimation, that's ideal for synthetic fabrics like polyester. The more, if you introduce, let's say, a 60 polyester, 40% cotton shirt, your quality is not going to be as good, because there's the polyester, the sublimation is only dyeing to the polyester. Same thing goes with DTG. It's ideal for natural fabrics, 100% cotton. So you can do 50-50 with DTG, but just know if you do that, the quality is going to suffer because essentially the only thing the ink is sticking to is the cotton part of the shirt. Yeah, there are pre-treatments out there and different types of ink that allow you to decorate polyester, but they still wouldn't be as vibrant or possibly as durable as if you printed on a 100% cotton t-shirt. So there's some other options outside of screen printing and digital printing to do full color apparel printing. And another way, a very inexpensive way, for folks that, a lot of times this is their foot in the door when it comes to decorating full color, is utilizing a home inkjet or even a home laser printer. You can buy transfer papers that you could print just like you would, a Word document or something like that. And that's going to allow you to decorate full color. The biggest drawback of using an inkjet printer is absolutely the color quality that you could achieve with that, also durability. Because the inks in the inkjet printers and laser printers, those weren't really designed to be put through a wash and a dry cycle. They're meant for traditional paper printing and things like that. So if that's just something that you're going to use, to get in the door with full color, is just set your customers up with the proper expectations of what they could expect with what they're getting. If you're using a standard home inkjet printer, you just let your customers know that it's not going to be a permanent design, much like a digital or screen print sublimation DTG transfer, because maybe 10 to 15 washes is about the life expectancy of an inkjet or a laser printed transfer. So just set your customers up to the expectations so they know exactly what they're going to be getting. But where I've seen, folks benefit, using inkjet and laser, very inexpensive. You could buy any inkjet printer, Best Buy, Walmart, those types of places for anywhere from, $89 to $200, depending on what you get there. So it's a very low cost investment. Where I've seen folks utilize that is if they maybe set up at flea markets, family reunion type t-shirts, where it is going to be more of a temporary type, wearable for them. So it's a great way to do that. Any questions out there? Okay, no questions. So what we've covered today, Karen reminded me, is I'm going to decorate that bag with the express print transfer. And we're going to put this on a bag, and I forgot to grab my extra platen, so we can get a nice even pressure over this area here. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out on my Fusion. Okay. And I'm going to use this one, 4x4. So I changed my platen out so I could dress this over top so I can get a flat pressing area here. And I'm going to take, this is my digital CAD prints, express print. Place that on there. So this is another benefit of digital transfers, is I could essentially, anything I could fit into a heat press, I could use a digital transfer to decorate because of the extreme versatility that digital transfers have. And there we have our full color heat transfer on not just a basic t-shirt, but a bag. The digital transfers can be applied to bags, totes, shoes, you name it, you could use a digital transfer for. So there we've covered, the many different types of ways that you could start offering full color heat transfers, full color apparel printing in general, to your customer base. So what we covered was screen printed transfers. Great for 100% cotton, 50/50s, most polyesters and things like that. Full color, usually 2 to 4 color. But then you saw the stretch litho, where it combines the best of digital printing with screen printing. So, you're limitless color palette, and be able to decorate many of the challenging garments that we have today, including dry fits, Under Armours, because of that low temp application. You know, why this is cost effective is because you could offer screen printing without having to make such the high investment into the actual screen printing equipment, which can get extremely high. And also, you're not having any of the mess of the screen printing. You know, no chemicals to worry about to reclaim your screens and clean those out. Nothing like that. Quick, simple, easy, decorating full color. Digital printing, you saw there, the benefits there, smaller to mid quantities, and also special effects, such as the metallic prints with the foil tech and the white, the silver, and the gold. And also being able to offer glitter finishes in full color with digital transfers. And those are also ideal for any color, any fabric. You know, so again, those of you who have print cut systems, you could use these same types of materials to print. You know, for those of you who don't have a digital printer like a print cut system, you know, those, much like screen printing, you know, it's an investment for you, because you know, to get into digital printing yourself, you're looking anywhere from $8,000 to as much as $30,000, depending on the type of printer you have. You know, so utilizing Stahls with our CAD print service allows you to begin doing that for folks, you know, without that high investment cost of equipment. Now, if you know, using CAD prints takes off for you, and you're starting to need to see quicker turn times, or you're having folks coming in who want more customized designs or lower quantities, okay, you have that business, you've generated, you know, tons of profit with that. Yeah, maybe make sense for you to bring in that print and cut device for you to start doing it yourself. You know, and then the other options that we have, DTG, you know, that initial cost of investment is anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000, you know, depending on the printers you get, the pre-treatment solutions that you choose to go with, you know, and that's great for online retailers offering basically nothing but t-shirts, you know, or even screen printers, you know, like to have a DTG because, you know, let's say they just did a 100-piece run for, you know, the local Little League or whatever it might be. You know, they have 100 shirts, they just ran a screen, but, you know, they've already reclaimed those screens and they're using it for something else, and that same organization came back and says, hey, can you do 5 more of those shirts for me? Well, screen printers thinks, oh man, I got to reburn all these screens. You know, with the ability of having a DTG, they could print off those 5 graphics on those 100% cotton t-shirts quickly, easily, you know, without having all the reburn the screens and things like that. You know, and then sublimation and inkjet printing, other great ways. Now those, as far as investment costs, you know, those aren't as high, you know, as a digital printer or a screen printer. You know, with sublimation, you could get, you know, as $800 to as much as, again, up in the 30,000s, depending on the size and things of the printers you get. And then with inkjet and laser, you know, those are very affordable, you know, but again, the quality is just not there. So, but as you can see, there's many different options for you as a decorator, whether you're just vinyl cutting, whether you're just, you know, utilizing a heat press, to be able to start offering your customers full color graphics quickly and easily, you know, whether it's screen printing, digital CAD prints, sublimation, inkjet, or laser printer. The options are out there, you know. So any questions here before we wrap up, Karen? All right, well, thanks everybody for attending. You know, my name's Mike Koval, and just want to remind you that tomorrow we have Josh Ellsworth at 11 o'clock, and he's going to be covering 5 ways to overcome price objections when selling apparel. And again, that's Josh Ellsworth tomorrow at 11 a.m., so please tune in tomorrow to Stahls TV, and we thank you again today for coming.